Probably meeting a lot of the youth.
I'm looking forward to meeting some of the other people in the different wards, which is really exciting, and then seeing like some of the history of the church, like the background of it.
I'm really looking forward to going into the temple.
The temple trip, just because I'm going with a bunch of different youth and it's not just my ward.
I love the history of most things. I don't know, it's just always fascinated me, so I'm excited to see the historical site.
I went when I was younger, so I'm looking forward to the spiritual aspect now more.
I am excited for the history and I love the temple, it's really pretty.
I'm excited to get to know new people, and I've heard that it's going to be an amazing spiritual experience. I think a greater love for family history work.
Just more of an understanding of the gospel.
I really gained a testimony of the Book of Mormon.
I feel like going to seminary, studying the Book of Mormon, I've received a bigger testimony of the Book of Mormon.
Just growing my testimony, especially the Book of Mormon.
I'd have to say a more complete understanding of the Book of Mormon, because before I knew nothing about it, just that Nephi was in it.
Being able to read the Book of Mormon and study it and prepare to go to Nauvoo, and it wasn't only for seminary, but it was for Nauvoo. It was really special.
Just how strong that those people were to carry on believing what they did, even if others didn't.
It's like the same thing every time you read it again, you learn something new. So it was like different because we have seminary, so we're reviewing it more.
I really like the story of Nephi. Like, I love Nephi's courage and his bravery and having the faith to go and do and follow the Lord's commandments.
The story of Alma the Younger and all his friends, it just sort of sticks out to me because even though we're really bad, we can still find our way back.
Just how many times it says ministering ever since the President Nelson told us about the ministering. I guess I didn't realize like how many times it said it, so just like rereading it again after seminary is really cool to see like his like words come to pass and stuff.
I really like when Christ came to the Nephites and showed his love toward them.
So you can come back from anything and Heavenly Father's going to be there to help you along the way.
I really like the end, like the last 2 or 3 chapters of the Book of Mormon where Moroni is explaining basically that this is not for people in our time, but for the future and the present day, and how it's a challenge to read it and pray about it and find out if it's true or not.
There's a greater testimony of Joseph Smith in the Book of Mormon.
Overall, taking in the experience, but just being able to I think just being there.
Probably a stronger testimony of the pioneers and just kind of feel more of the sacrifice that they went through and stuff.
I'm hoping to gain a bigger or a better appreciation of what the saints went through in Nauvoo.
Greater love for the gospel. I know as youth sometimes it's not our first priority, like all the world stuff that we're surrounded by. So kind of just taking this week off and putting ourselves all in church stuff, I think it'll be really nice.
I'm really hoping to gain a better understanding of myself and my family.
An idea on what my ancestors had to go through just to get somewhere safe.
Getting a stronger testimony of Joseph Smith.
Memories and experiences.
A privilege.
I think it's a privilege for sure.
I think it's a privilege because we get to do missionary work.
It's more of a privilege because people have more of a chance to know where they come from in the world.
I think with the technology we have now, it's definitely a privilege.
Definitely a privilege.
Genealogy is a privilege. I'm grateful that we get to work on like something that's really important.
I think sometimes it can seem like a burden, especially since it's like sometimes it can be hard to do, but I think it's a privilege to be able to do it.
I think it's a privilege because it's another opportunity for us to have spiritual enlightenment, I guess, like another experience that you can have.
It's definitely a privilege, like when you get to see who your ancestors were, and especially if you had ancestors that were in Nauvoo when Joseph Smith was there.
My family's been indexing a lot, so that's been fun for us.
I'm gonna try an index at least once a week.
Get my siblings involved because I feel like if I get them involved, then we'll be able to feed off of each other and like remind each other to do genealogy.
I think asking for help when I need it because I'm not super good at navigating the website.
Well, I know this month is like indexing month, so we can do indexing.
Try and keep indexing names.
Every Sunday, just a little bit after church, maybe get on Family Search or Ancestry, just look through that.
How they separated everyone into different groups, different people from different wards, all with different backgrounds, different personalities. It's a really great way for people to get to know each other.
I think Carthage Jail.
Being in the temple, I was able to baptize this guy. He came into the water. He got like really close to me, but he was like, this is my friend who passed on.
Definitely visiting the Carthage jail. Just there was a spirit there that was unlike the rest of Nauvoo.
I feel like when we were able to visit the Carthage jail and be able to be in the room, I know it was very special because you know what happened there and the spirit was very strong there.
I loved going to the temple. The spirit there was so strong and I didn't want to leave. That was my favorite day out of all the days in Nauvoo.
The spirit in Nauvoo is really strong, and that's something I always remember about every time I go.
It felt weird because I didn't know most of them, but I knew that they were like part of me and my family.
It was really great. I probably would have not done the work if it wasn't a requirement to go to Nauvoo, but I'm really happy I did because it made it a whole new experience and it made it really special.
It was really exciting because you get to find people and you get to take their names to the temple.
It was awesome. It was a really cool experience to get to know them. Like you get to go through like their background and their stories, and you get to see how they live their life. It's really cool.
It's cool when it's people that you're like really closely connected to.
It was peaceful, and it sort of like brought me down to where not everyone is born with this joy of being of this church and having that opportunity to be baptized in their lifetime, and us giving them that opportunity is it's an excitement for me.
Super awesome to be able to help people that have come before me.
Like a warm light was just shining on me.
A good feeling to find a name and be like, whoa, like I actually did that. It's like really fulfilling.
At least like 700.
We'll go like 300.
1,500.
A few hundred.
5,000 names?
695.
4,352. 1,000 at least. Close to 1,000.
672.
3,333.
I think 832.
748.
Cut.